We have all been preparing for lifetimes in order to fulfill the critical facet of the divine plan that will unfold in this new decade, and which we will birth on January the 1st of next year. This cosmic moment will occur within the embrace of a very powerful eclipse series, beginning with a partial new moon solar eclipse on Christmas Day, and be secured in the physical world of form during a full moon lunar eclipse on January the 11th and 12th. The beings of light have said that with the cooperation of awakening humanity, the unfolding divine plan for the years 2020 to 2030 will raise the consciousness of the masses of humanity and transform the surfacing outer world events in positive ways that never have before been attempted. Just imagine, this is the opportunity we've all been working towards, and every one of us has everything within us that we need, pulsating in the divinity of our heart flame to succeed in this work, God victoriously. That means that we have all sacred knowledge, skill, wisdom, ability, and our courage necessary to fulfill our unique part of this wondrous divine plan. Now what do we need? Our willingness to respond to the opportunities that come our way, or that our I Am Presence brings into our sphere of awareness. So that's what I give to you, is to wake up to the willingness within you. Number 2, God wants you to know that your prayer has already been heard. The larger part of you that is eternally connected with the larger part of everything that we call God actually has been processing your order for a while now. You don't have to speak it for it to be known. So the good news today is that your perfect outcome is on its way for Christmas time. Bless now what shows up in your life and embrace it with gratitude, because it's the beginning of the rest of your life. Number 3, it was the 13th century poet Rumi who said, "You could accomplish 100 other things, but if you do not accomplish the one thing that you've been sent here for, it's as if you've done nothing." We will accomplish 100 other things. We could amass great wealth. We could demonstrate great authorities and powers, which has to relate to doing. But if we miss knowing who we are, which is being, and sharing our unique gift with the world, it will be as if we've done nothing. So, beloveds, on this day, amid all the doing, pause right now, take a deep breath inside, and just be one with Source within you. And this day, tell yourself that I will know myself better and give myself to the world with the gifts that I have to give. I could accomplish 100 other things, but without this, it's as if I've done nothing. It's up to you. So, greetings, I say to you. What a wondrous joy it is to be here and to be giving these talks during the holiday season. I talked about learning how to step more into the power of who we are, claiming ourselves as number one in our life, which is part of expressing the light that we are, and about the spark of light that's there within us and joining hands to bring others into the light. We've been feeling that the last 2 weeks. So today's title to continue is Rebirth, the Light Within. And here we are in the midst of this holiday season, outside of the stress and the commercial part of shopping, Santa Claus, spending money, gifts giving. It's the time for joy. We are celebrating the lights, the Festival of the Lights of Hanukkah this weekend, the holiday where the eternal light always shines. Last week we celebrated the light of Diwali from the Hindu religion, which is the proverbial peace on earth. And now we see Christmas lights all around us on trees and houses. And we prepare our time for birth or rebirth within us. So this is what I want to share with you today, beloveds, rebirthing into your light and into your life. Aren't we always attracted to the lights, kind of like the moths that fly around and get attracted to the lights? What is it about this? I think it's because inherently we remember the light within us, and metaphysically light means intelligence. So we cannot affirm too often the statement, I am a light of the world. You want to say that? I am a light of the world. What exactly does that mean, though? Let's start from the source. It said, in the beginning was the Word. It also said in the beginning was the light, the pure bright light of Source. And from that light, the darkness was conquered, not by doing anything, but just by being exactly what this Source was, light. It's what it was in the beginning, what's been ever since. This light was intelligence. It knew itself as the light of the world. And because it knew that, all of which it was what it created from its thought was all that it was and all that it will be, and therefore all that we are and all that we will be. The universe, the planets, Earth as the jewel of the cosmos, the planets, the plants, the flora, the animals, all of those that we have on this planet, and each and every one of you, were created out of the desire and the love of itself. Just think of the power of that love, that it desired to have expressions of itself that we call souls, having all the qualities that it has, and the intelligence and the knowingness to create out of its thought and out of its love and out of its light. In that instance, when it did, our soul was born, being everlasting, pure love. If you could take that in and know that's the truth of who you are. And because we have the same aspects of Source flowing through us, we can affirm that I also am the light of the world, as Source is. And in the beginning, before we came into physical form, we were these beings of light. We were bigger than we know ourselves to be right now. We were these souls created out of the mind of God. We experienced our being to the fullest. We knew the truth then, not only of our being, but of the truth of the universe. We knew how powerful we were and how to create what we wanted just through our thoughts. We made choices knowing how the outcome would affect us. Therefore, why would we not only make choices that would benefit us? That's what we did. And then we made the biggest choice of all, which was what? To come down into physical form and to experience being a human being. And we were excited. We wanted to experience all that we could from this deep divine love that we knew that we were. So we stuffed our big non-physical body into this little physical body, which is why children have so much energy running around most of the time. And then we had to learn how to use our senses and our experiences to be the creator of our lives even more. And what a miracle this form that we're in is. Do we really take the time to really acknowledge the wondrous physical body that we live in, that we can walk and talk and have thoughts in our brain and be able to say words at the same time, how it all magically occurs, to experience all of our five senses and to have feelings in our bodies. We were excited when we came here. We had joy in our bodies, and we expressed our emotions in the moment. We cried when we were sad. We asked for what we wanted. We were happy. We enjoyed the attention that we received from others. We were totally in these bodies as children, and we were alive. We wanted to experience as much as we could. And as children, we remembered our connection to the Source and God, our Creator. So we came here with love being our core energy. We came here to learn about relationships with other people and everything around us. We came here to experience all of ourselves. And for a while, it worked. We remembered who we were and that we came from Source. And then we knew inside of ourselves, we remembered and experienced that universal truth, which is God in man, as man, is man. We believed in ourselves. We allowed our imagination to flourish. We shined as our light that we are, and because of the divine intelligence that shines through us. Can you remember that as a child? And then we started to forget. We became blind to ourselves and to our power and to our Source. We formed judgments about ourselves and others. We started to believe others' lies about us as truth about ourselves. We took on other beliefs from our church and from our family and from school and from whatever, that it's not okay to cry. It's not safe to share our feelings. It's time to stop daydreaming and living in the clouds. Stay grounded. Work hard for what you want. You're not good enough. You're homely. You're not beautiful. You can't do that right. You can't sing. You're wrong for being who you are. Those and many more. You began to learn the opposite of the truth of who you were and what you came in to experience. And then you learned to move out of love into living in fear, which you've been living most of your life, separated from the inner power within. From knowing for sure that you are an individualization of God, you too are searching for the way back home, which right now is here. Heaven is here in our hearts. We forgot that God and home are right there in the heart. So it's time, beloveds, to get back to the truth of who you are. And the answer's within us. It's time to release all the stuff that you individually and everybody took on as children. This is the season to do that. Because it's time to be reborn into the light that we are. To know the beautiful light that you are right now is a wonderful blessing indeed. But even more blessing is to perceive the great and beautiful light in everyone else that you meet. I am that. I could say, I am that, I am that, I am that, and so on, because we are all one. Soon, as we do this, the world will be filled with the beauty and light of the God and goddesses that we are, of the truth of who we are. And that's what the masters know, and that's what they see. That's what God sees, and we want to see as God sees. So we can start being our truth and being here for what we're for. It's time for our rebirth, beloveds. Time to let our light shine, the light of our intelligence, the light of our love. It's time to remember these 10 truths to share with you. Number 1, it is the love from this planet that generates the energy that feeds God. Do you get that? The love from this energy feeds God within us, and the love grows. Everyone must learn to love themselves, and the only way they may love themselves is to never do anything that they would dislike themselves for. Number 2, this is a time of awakening, a time to understand that within the self, everyone holds the key for bringing planet Earth to its fulfillment. Number 3, what will come to be understood is the power of thought and the energy of love. How wonderful it is, just as our Creator. Number 4, it is time to behave only in a manner in which you may love yourself for. Behave in a manner in which you would wish another to do for you. To do no action, thought, or thing that you in your soul and consciousness cannot have self-respect for. When that begins, all will change. 5, it's time to know that you are not as inadequate as you thought you were, and time to release it. 6, you have begun a new time in your land and universe, as I mentioned in the beginning. It's a time for you to remove the cord that attaches you to the past, to the physical, to the fears, and to doubt. Number 7, it's time to understand that you must not beat yourself up when you make an error, but move beyond it. Remove and peel off that shell and let another light then come forth instead of the darkness of fear. Number 8, humankind, we were not created for suffering, beloveds. We were not created for disease or destruction. We were created for the joy and the glory of the Creator, who in truth is humankind. Number 9, permit your soul to show you the way, because the soul is the connection to Spirit and God within. And number 10, what is past is past. What's coming in the future doesn't make any difference. What matters is this moment, this time, because each moment is a rebirth. So, beloveds, I want you to know today that this is the moment for your rebirth. This is the moment for you to let your light shine. The world is waiting for you. The world needs you for you to be all you can be. So take every moment the rest of this month to remember your truth, to be continually seen into the light and love that you are. So I'd like to turn to your neighbor and say, peace be with you. And peace be with you. I'm going to share the Hindu prayer of peace. It says, "O God, let us lead us from the unreal to the real. O God, lead us from darkness to the light. O God, lead us from death to immortality. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti unto all." To end, Hoyle sent me something a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't print it out to type it, so I did today. This is a spiritual thought that kept running through his mind. He said, "Just as long as I'm in the world, I am the light of this world. Just as long as I'm in this world, I am the light of this world." Want to repeat with me? Just as long as I'm in this world, I am a light of this world. And just as long as I'm in this world, I am the light of this world. I've got fiery fingers and I've got fiery hands. And when I get up into heaven, I'm going to join that fiery band. This is from Reverend Gary Davis, a blind Harlem street preacher and singer who was a monster guitarist. He was intense and brilliant. So thanks, Laura. Namaste.